Hey, it's Jason Creel and this is the Lawn Care Life. Today I'm helping out my parents. They're wanting to do lay a couple pallets of sod, and I told them, gave them some advice on what kind of grass I would get. And a lot of times the biggest part of getting your sod right is choosing the right type of grass. So in this situation, I'll show you where they've prepared the dirt, and we're going with a Zorro Zoysia sod. Now, I've not been familiar with that specific type of sod. I'd encourage them to maybe get some Emerald Zoysia, which here in the South typically tends to be the most shade tolerant type. But the place they bought sod didn't have Emerald Zoysia, so they had the Zorro Zoysia, and I did a little research on it. It seems like it has quite a shade tolerance, needs maybe 3 to 4 hours of sunlight. Probably more would be better, but it can tolerate that little. And also being able to hold on a hillside. So let me show you the area that they've prepped to lay the sod. We just got a couple pallets of sod, and we're not professional sod installers, but it's not rocket science behind it. You just want to lay it down there, stagger your joints just like if you were laying wood floors. And then of course keeping it watered until it gets established. If you see here, what they had done, they had a skid steer come in here and do some grading on the dirt, and have poured a new concrete driveway going over here. And it's going to be like a metal storage building over there where that car's parked. But you know, so the dirt work, and then they brought in, when they did the dirt work with the skid steer, the problem is, you know, they basically get all the topsoil and push it out of the way. So they brought in a truckload of topsoil and just sort of hand raked it. Now, you know, if you hire professionals to do your sod work, they're probably going to come in with some kind of machine and scrape the dirt. I mean, if you're a homeowner and just looking to do this yourself, you can do that. You can, you know, scrape the dirt down and get rid of all the existing grass, or sometimes people just spray it and kill everything and then bring in the existing new sod or seed, whatever you're going to do. But in this situation, you know, it was all scraped down, and then bringing in the new dirt is going to at least give it some loosened up soil to help the sod take root. And of course the sod's got a layer of topsoil on the bottom of it already, but having this soil loosened is going to help a little bit, and then able to at least work on some of the unlevel areas and get it as level as possible. Now, it's not perfect. Like I said, it's not going to be as good as maybe if a professional landscape company did it, but I think it'll look good. The other thing I was talking about with choosing the right sod. Now, this situation, you've got some shade, you got, you know, trees all around, so it's not going to get full sun. So, you know, if it was full sun, people might go with Bermuda sod, something like that. But in this situation, having partial shade, you're going to need to go with the Zoysia to be able to tolerate that. Another thing that I like about Zoysia, and I was talking to him about, is when you have a hillside, and this is not a very steep hill, but it is a hill. A lot of times what happens is the Bermuda grass just gets real thin, especially in the wintertime, and you have erosion problems. But the Zoysia just grows very dense, and I've seen it planted on almost a 90-degree hillside. Now, you got to get the hold on the hill in that situation until it gets rooted, but it will hold the dirt and really help with erosion. Now, this hillside is not that steep, so I don't expect there'll be any problem for it to hold on this hill. So let's take a look at the Zorro Zoysia. It does look a lot, as far as appearance goes, it does look a lot like the Emerald Zoysia, meaning it has a very fine leaf texture. I can compare that over here with what I believe to be some kind of Myers Zoysia or Z52 or something, you know. And you see underneath this big tree and how the Zoysia is growing in this area, but this has a wider leaf blade. You know, like I said, I think this is going to be your Myers Zoysia or Z52, something like that. But anyway, this is the Zorro. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've used it before. But like I said, it looks more like an Emerald Zoysia to me. So we're going to start laying the sod. Got to use a hatchet or a machete or something like that to be able to cut the different odd pieces if we need to get one to fit in there. That's at least what I've seen sod layers do. They get one and they need to cut it. They just whack it with a machete. We'll get started and show you the progress along the way. We're making some progress. You see, we're just started at the edge of the concrete, and all I do is just I don't like bending over, so I just drop it and kick it into place. But you see how we're staggering the joints, and we'll have to come in and cut this out. You know, so those of you that do sod more often, I imagine some of you got a lot more experience. What would you do different? If you could leave some advice in the comments on what y'all do with sod. I think normally a sod company, you know, landscape company would come in and roll this and make it all level. We don't have a roller, so we're just gonna have to let it settle out over time. But like I said, the ground was pretty level to start with, so we shouldn't have any problems. We're just gonna have to cut in some of these odd shapes, which won't be that big a deal. But you know, we make a surprise. Let me throw a little bit down. Nice. All right, we'll check back in a minute after we get some more progress done and show you how it's looking. All right, we finished with the 2 pallets of sod. Probably gonna take one more pallet to finish all the areas that we're looking to get done. But let me show you the finish. Let me show you the finished work here. Like I said, it could, if we rolled it, I'm sure it would be more smooth, or they could come back and top dress it with some sand and topsoil or something if it want to be perfect. But I think it's gonna be great, even like it is. It's got a, like I said, on a hillside, Zoysia just seems to do better, and with some of the shade issues here, I would expect that this is going to turn out really nice. So you can see here, nothing too complicated. We just staggered the joints, laid it out here, and keep it watered until it gets rooted. I like to do this, you know, after the freezing weather's gotten past, but before it gets too hot in the summer, because then you got to water it like crazy. I mean, you got to water it anyway, but this time of year it won't have to be quite as, there's a difference in 85 degrees and 95 degrees, so it'll be a little better. Thanks for watching the video. Love to have your tips and advice in the comments on laying sod, some things we could have done better. You can leave a comment. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason Creel. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.